This video is about the CQ DATR or directional ATR vanilla version. This version isn't this one. I'm not done with this one yet. It's a little simpler. It uses the same algorithm that this other one over here is using, but it doesn't have any buttons or any. It does have a few modes that you can use. For example, this is just the two lines that cross, and you can see what it does and where things are crossing. You can change the period and the applied price, which the applied price can have a significant change on what this looks like. So can the close to close, high to low, and high to low plus. These are three different modes that work at the input level of the indicator. And then the output mode shows 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5. And then these modes will show a single line, for example, of what the up looks like. Or it looks like this. Then there's also one that shows the same thing in the histogram. You may also notice these numbers as they change. And that's the ATR for the current candle underneath. This is the down number, and this is the up number. This one's 0 because we're just showing the down here. It's on this one too. There's the two-line cross. This next one's just the overlapping mode. That's just what I call it. Whichever one is higher is generally the one you would use. The next one is the WAE type, which you should recognize this. It's very similar, but it's not the same algorithm at all. It does use a moving average, and depending on which one is greater, if the up ATR, which is this green color, if it's greater, obviously it's going to be above, or it'll show rather than the down ATR. This is just a simple moving average. I can change it just to these. This isn't a very complicated indicator, but you can change those. It behaves similarly to the WAE. Generally, there's enough volume when the candle is above this moving average, and you don't trade if it's below. This is the signal right here, and you can change the period, the type, and then multipliers, like if you want to move it up, do this. Or if you want to move it down, you could just make it less than 1. But one's a good place to start. And these are just the colors. So the up color, it's the down color, down, not enough volume. These are just graphic stuff. You can change the dot type, to one of these if you want. And the size, and you can change the colors. You change the colors here rather than here. If you change them here, when you close it, it'll just go back to whatever these colors are. So change the colors here. Return to mean is, we'll put it on the two-line cross. And what it does is this speed at which it comes back to whatever the mean average is, if you, for example, I'm going to put it at 1 just so it's very obvious. It changes how it responds. It may, in some places it will move it over, like here. In other places it won't. You can just try it, play around with it and see if it fits your algorithm. That's what that does. And it's an ATR that is just used to modify the output. I'm going to leave it off for now. We have this histogram 0 cross, and this is the type where here you have the green. This is possibly when an uptrend actually begins rather than waiting for the 0 cross here. And the only difference between 0 cross 1 and 0 cross 2 is how the colors are shown. For example, this is 0 cross 1. And you can change this, so we'll change it over to this. Just, there's a number of different ways that you can configure this, but I just thought it would be easier, a little more simple to use than this one.